Welcome to the user guide for the Quangsheng marking gauge. This is a beautifully engineered piece of kit. If you're currently in the quandary between do I buy a high-spec marking gauge or do I go for something a little bit more affordable, then I can afford 2 or 3 so I can save my settings through the project, this one might be of interest to you. I'll leave it at that. You can go out and check the prices on workshopheaven.com, but they're incredible value for money. Starting at the top, we've got a hardened carbon steel cutting wheel, which is recessed so that the screw sits flush with the top. That can be retracted completely inside the fence, which is primarily a means of protecting the cutting edge against impacts and damage, but it also protects you from it, so it's a safer way to store it. The head itself is machined from solid brass with a rosewood infill. It's a beautifully made piece of kit. It's got this nice large thumb wheel, which just with ordinary finger tightness, that absolutely cannot move. You get a little bit more mechanical advantage with a larger wheel, and also when you lay it down on the bench it will stop it from rolling away. At the other end of the head you've got this very discreet micro adjustment mechanism. It's a left-hand thread, so it undoes clockwise. If you slacken it off and then rotate the body of the gauge, it will advance by a 1/16 of an inch for every full rotation. On the stem you've got these graduations in both metric and imperial, and if I just wind that up and down you can see that you can twist that onto the exact setting that you want. Other way, lock it off, and there you go, there you have your setting. Just spin that up again out of the way and it's job done. The graduations on the stem are remarkably accurate. They account for the 2mm thickness of the cutter, so that's with the cutter installed with the cutting edge furthest away from the fence, which is the normal setting for using it as a marking gauge. A mortising attachment is available for the gauge that uses stacked 1mm brass washers to alter the width of the mortise. The cutters themselves are 2mm and each spacer is 1mm thick. I've put 2 spacers behind here. You need one anyway because it covers the hollow in the back of the blade for the screw to recess into, and enables that to sit square on the end of the rod. I've put 2 in because that compensates for the thickness of the cutter being the other way round, so the graduations on your rod will remain correct. For mortises 9mm and over, use the longer screw. For mortises under 9mm, use the shorter screw. Okay, 3 top tips for laying out accurate gauge lines. First of all, stock preparation. If your stock isn't square and true, then your gauge lines won't be either. Number 2, put the wood on the bench. That way it's held firmly and securely and it's not going to move around while you're trying to lay your mark. A piece of leather underneath is a good way of improving the grip without the need for clamps. Third tip is to watch the fence here for gaps appearing, not the cutter. The cutter's all preset and it's going to do what it's going to do. What you're controlling is that there are no gaps appearing like that, or like that, or like that, as you're laying the mark in.